Good evening, my name is Victoria Sullivan. I reside on South Beach Street. Members of this board have made comments blaming the state for downshifting pension costs. The city pensions were actually upshifted to the state many years ago. This out-of-sight, out-of-mind pension system grew out of control. Several of our city pensions are well over $100,000 per year, including that of one member of this board. In fact, Manchester holds 7 of the top 10 highest paid pensions in the state, and 44 employees are currently receiving over $99,000 per year. This is not sustainable when the average Social Security pay for people in the city is around $20,000. It's the taxpayer that carries this burden, yet anyone who brings up these facts or questions the overtime wages that create increased pensions is labeled anti-public employee. And don't dare question the school budget, or you are labeled anti-child. And I would encourage people to look up the multiple studies that prove that cost is not associated to education outcomes. Pitting the taxpayer against the public employee is the game of union bosses, the rhetoric of which is supported and repeated by certain members of this board. Payers and employees are trying to do their best with what they have and need to respect each other's circumstances. The Manchester median household income is $60,000 per year. The budget you are proposing will break our most vulnerable families and our elderly. There are roughly 12 union contracts on the deck this year. No member of this board who has received the support of unions should be allowed to vote on the contracts. That leaves about 3 aldermen who could actually vote. However, historically, members of this board have voted on contracts even when there's a clear conflict of interest. As far as staying within the tax cap, in recent years the cap was 1.9% or thereabouts. This year, because of inflation, it's around 3.5%. This city has received over $200 million in tax dollars from the federal government by way of ARPA, CARES Act, and ESSER funds. An additional $2 million from the room and meals tax, and you're still increasing the budget because you are beholden to people and entities that are not your constituents. You should have reorganized city departments the moment that you started labeling people as non-essential. There should be no non-essential employees in government. Your policies are driving the city into the ground, yet your conversations around city employees have been to increase pay, increase the cost of Yarger-Decker, and to give bloated budgets to departments so they can give pay raises out of the public view. It's as if you don't understand the correlation between increased cost of government and the burden on the taxpayer. This budget will increase property taxes, leaving homeowners on the hook once again. Your decisions will directly result in increased rents and therefore homelessness. We know that financial stress increases domestic abuse, addiction, and depression. If you truly cared about this city and her people, you would do what is right, go back to the drawing board and craft a responsible zero-based budget. That is what families around this city are currently doing at their own kitchen table as they try to figure out how they will meet the needs of the cost of living increase that they are all facing. To the few on this board that actually listen to your constituents and fight back on our behalf, your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and you truly are appreciated.
3 minutes.